Hi guys, what's up? It's me again, Meat Puppet. Today we're going to talk about Billie Eilish. It seems that she has an interesting opinion about Poke. Look man, who run the world? Girls! So it starts off, Billie Eilish, watching Pokemon from the age of 11 destroyed my brain. The singer says the addiction gave her nightmares and messed her up when she began dating. Did it happen to me? Yes. I had weird expectation, and once I got my partner, I wanted to keep that expectation because I thought if I don't have Funky Funky for freaking 7 days a week until she's on the period, I thought I'm a very bad boyfriend. Let's just say that. I think Pokemon is a disgrace. I used to watch a lot of Pokemon, to be honest. I started watching Pokemon when I was 11. The bad guy singer said singing it helped her feel as if she were cool, and one of the... Yeah, I did feel cool too when I mentioned specific stuff to my friends, and it's a normal thing. The only thing that's not normal is the amount of access that you have in this age compared to me back in the day. It's on a whole different level. I think it really destroyed my brain, and I feel incredibly devastated that I was exposed to so much Pokemon. She added saying she suffered nightmares because some of the content she watched was so violent and abusive. Yes! There's a lot of stars that are talking about it where they made so much money with this gangster abusive stuff. But it would surprise you how many men, I don't think I've seen a lot of women, but they're out there. They like that aggressive stuff, and sadly certain girls think they have to do it because if they don't, they're not cool, or they're supposed to do it because it's so accepted now in the culture, right? I see it a lot when people say I have to do this because we're gangster here, we have to party, and I'm like, damn, okay, you do you, but I hope you want it because you want it. Not because you updated your brain as a child and you assume that is the thing that you're supposed to keep doing. That's that's very bad. Eilish stated she was angry that Pokemon was loved and created serious problem for men and consent. Consent is weird when we talk about it because certain girls like a guy with that is confident in themselves, right? And sometimes that confidence is only accepted as good if you're beautiful enough to do it. So if you're not sure if you're beautiful, it's hard for men to identify that. What does surprise me that certain men go so far, like, you know what, I'm going to be with this girl and I'm just gonna try something out and I'm gonna hope it's okay. It's how so many men think about they're supposed to be, which is me too. And because in Pokemon there is no consent, there's a huge problem about consent, and not just consent in having Funky Funky, but consent during Funky Funky. But because you see that so much, bam, bam, bam on the internet, it's hard to turn off because you're like, should I go that far? Because I'm doing what I'm doing normally, what I thought. But do I go that far? Am I supposed to get excited? Do I need to push the barrier? It's really hard to define that. But now, wait, I didn't start watching this at 11. I started watching this in my 20s. So if it's that hard and I was quite addicted in my time, I could not even imagine at 11. 11 I was playing games. Games! Super Nintendo. I wasn't addicted to prawn. Eilish said that she's now angry at herself for thinking it was okay to watch so much Pokemon. The first few times I, had Funky Funky, I was not saying no to things that were not good. It was because I thought that's what I was supposed to be attracted to. Well, most of the time you might think that with your partner already. You try to please them in different ways. I've been there. You might even accept something because you want to ask something, But the problem starts when you start meeting certain guys that do crazy stuff with certain girls that are maybe a little more drunk, or they believe like, well, it's gonna be a one night stand, I'm gonna go even crazier. But once they're in a relationship, for example, or the woman considers you relationship material, she won't do that level. Just as a guy, sometimes you're gonna be like, wait, why do you treat me? You would have done that for me. But the girl is like, wait, I won't do that because I thought you would respect me. I'm not like one of them. It creates like this weird dynamic that Pokemon provides in everybody's head. And it's so freaking confusing. I'm just glad that she's talking about it. That's the only reason. And the Ballad of Male Fantasy on her second album, Happier Than Ever, she sings about being home alone and distracting herself with Pokemon as she recalls a broken relationship. Happens to everyone. Because if you think about it, if she didn't talk about it, nobody would care. So many people are talking about this, nobody cares. I'm not gonna ask my best friend, what did you do? I don't understand what's happening there. So I hear what you're supposed to do, I see it in prawn, so I assume you did what you saw in prawn, and then people start doing stupid stuff in real life, which is messed up. I'm so angry that Pokemon is so loved, and I'm so angry at myself for thinking that it was okay. And it's how many people think they're supposed to learn. Look man, who run the world? Girls! Well, okay girls, it's your turn, because the fact that she said it, it changed. Everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Manda was talking about this because it created a weird feeling with love, and they couldn't empathize with people. Let me show you a few examples. Orlando Bloom. How is your actual real life partner going to match up compared to the endless funky novelty and the digital Pokemon bombarded our brains with? When you watch multiple people at multiple times in one evening, how is your actual real life partner going to match up? It's just so destructive. Pokemon is super disruptive to your funky life, to your libido. True. First of all, there are even certain people, they can't even have funky. They have to watch funky to have funky, or they don't reach the moment. I'm like, what are you doing? But I do realize that the more you watch something and you're focusing on that moment, sometimes it gets boring and you ask for more. Of course, people are gonna do weird stuff that I'm like, dude, you gotta freaking chill. Turn that thing freaking off and stop focusing down there, focusing up here, and just travel. I don't know, do something different. Research suggests that Pokemon-free couples experience higher relationship satisfaction and higher funky satisfaction, and have a decreased chance of divorce. Terry Crews had an issue. He was in the morning plum till the night plum. Pokemon changes the way you think about people. People become objects. People become body parts. They become things to be used rather than people to be loved. You even got Russell Brand. In fact, Brand says, my own relationship with Pokemon is kind of a hub of feelings of inner conflict and doubts, because it brings you back there. When you don't feel loved, the fact that you can reach that moment, it feels so good. So if you can reach that moment with your hand better than your partner, you have a big problem. The thing he has struggled with include an exaggerated perception of funky activities in society, diminished trust between intimate couples, the abandonment of hope of funky monogamy, and the belief that promiscuity is the natural slate. Nah man, that's not natural. Pokemon has recreated my ethical imagination to believe that promiscuous funky is natural. It isn't. That everyone is having easy funky. Even back in the day, the amount of naked people we can see compared to back in the day is humongous. It's not natural at all. It has damaged my hope of having faithfulness in relationship and in marriage, and it has damaged the belief that monogamy is actually possible. Funky Noni reduced the spectacle of funky to a kind of extracted physical act. We got Chris Rock. When you start watching too much Pokemon, you know what happens? You get desensitized. When you start watching Pokemon, any Pokemon will do. Then later on, you're all effed up. And you need a perfect Pokemon cocktail to get aroused. Huge Grant. But look, it's hard to believe it's been nearly 20 years since Grant was arrested for engaging in intercourse in a public place. You have all the money in the world and you go outside to a lady on the street to do something to you, because you want to feel so that somebody really wants you because that's normal. I don't get it with normal partner in my business. I want this. I think people don't respect how much it trolls your mind. That's all I'm saying. And the fact that Billie Eilish said it, I'm happy because she put it on the map. I was talking to somebody and he told me, Meet, as you're telling me you have been with 3 women, I believe if you were in USA, you could have gotten so many more. Man, you have no idea what you're missing out. I'm like, well, I'm Gucci. And he said, well, how do you know you're happy with that woman after only dating 2 before her? I says, that's why I love her. I don't know. And there was like a weird silence. We were like in Discord, we were just talking about the topic, and it was weird silence. I go to a restaurant and I always eat the same food. Some rice, meat, a little vegetable. I'm freaking happy. But there's so many choices. Okay. I'll use the same food and I'll sprinkle something new over it. I don't need to taste something else. Why do you think I want always to change what I taste? I don't want that. And that's what you get from Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Anyway, man, let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. Let's keep it nice and everything. But I do find it an interest topic, you know? So stay safe. Be careful with how much you're gonna watch. And remember to like the video a lot, share it, because I think it sends a good message. Subscribe. I'm a crazy man. One day it's political, one day I try to be funny, and sometimes I just like insightful messages, you know? Anyway, have a nice day. Peace.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Turloqueta verdetta welcome.